There's so much happening in the financial news that it's hard to keep track of, but in this video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. We'll look at the stock market. We're going to look at what's going on with the tariffs, inflation, recession, everything covered right here. Yes, I am very sick right now, but let's just look at the stock market because that's really sick. You can see what had happened with the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones, all of them were rocketing higher, okay, for several months, rocketing higher, doing very well. And then in an instant, they started to come down significantly, okay, and it was indiscriminate. Every stock was going down. Now, some of that has been restored. This is on the back of the potential for trade deals to take place. Some of those have already happened, but the big one that has not. You're seeing what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. That's a big deal. Clearly, they are still trying to get something to happen. I think that there's going to be some carving up, and the big billionaire businesses need to make money off of it somehow. There's the rebuilding, who gets the contracts. That's what's being discussed, and always, let's say that's always really I would say the difficult topics, because there's those big businesses that need to make their billions. And so we'll see what happens. But just remember that behind every deal, there's always going to be winners. There's always going to be winners. Looking at this, you can see what some are starting to say. The vibe around President Trump's second term has shifted, and it's all his doing. All right, they're really pointing the finger at one individual. The golden age is coming, but in the meantime, stock up on toilet paper. They're trying to really incite a lot of emotion right now, and there's no shortage of it. And so we get that in media. And what I am seeing right here is the reality, the stark reality from individuals. When you look at social media, there's a lot of trends. So you could see where the trends are growing. It's not just Google trends, but if you see it on social media, people are thrifting. People are looking to reuse, reduce, recycle, all those things, which they, always did, but there's a growing trend of that. And that means the budgets are tighter. I'm going to show you many examples. In fact, right here today, American consumers serve up bleak outlook on the economy. University of Michigan closely watched sentiment index was 52.2 for April, among the lowest on record. People are just saying, I'm not going to buy it. Or they're buying to stock up. Okay. They're buying to stock up because they're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to even get that. And what I have known from my business, I can tell you this right now. So I directly speak with or indirectly speak with people who do a lot of importing, a lot of exporting. And so I have some great insight for you today. What I am seeing is canceled orders. If a product did not have the really healthy margins, it's gone. So that means for those type of products, it will likely be similar for all of the players, or a handful of the players in the space. And so you will start to have shortages of different products. It doesn't have to be just, shipments or tariffs or anything. It's just businesses actively taking the initiative on the circumstance and just saying, no, not going to work. The profit margin's too thin. We're not going to sell that anymore. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm also seeing a lot of people out there who are trying to, do US manufacturing. Hey, you've heard that before. US manufacturing, why don't you do that? Yeah, makes sense, right? Why are you giving money to those other countries when you could be doing US manufacturing? Well, my personal circumstance. Back when I first created my first, not my first product, the first product that I sell now for my current brand. That was in 2019 when I created the Amazon GPS course. Okay. When I created that, I searched American manufacturers, zero, 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 that could make the products that I sell. Okay. A product for the home. And I thought, okay, well, I guess I got to go to China. Let me do this. Okay, many years later, 2020 happens. I do it again. I'm looking, okay, because we had, I didn't have any problems during that period, but a lot of people were. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get into this. I am going to figure out how to bring the production into the US. Again, zero turn up. This time around, I was getting a little bit more, let's just say antsy. And I did a deep research using OpenAI, ChatGPT, and I found 8 factories that did not make they don't make what I sell, apparently, even though you think it would be okay to manufacture, it's not worth it. So I reach out to 8 of them, okay? I get a response from sorry, I should say I don't get a response from about half of them. A few of them say basically, nah, we can't do it. I eventually talked to one on the phone, and that one, when I gave her what she asked for, took 2 weeks to reply and said, we're looking into it. So when they talk about and by the way, it probably won't work out, even if, like, if it's just the cost or whatever, like if it's just the financial side of it, that's one factor. But you can't do business when it takes you 2 weeks just to reply to an email. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're not going to be able, the vast majority of the stuff, you're not going to be able to manufacture. There isn't a factory for it. These are coming from people, either politicians or people who have never made anything. They've never made anything. Oh, they might have worked for a company and done some stuff, but they never have been in the position of authority where they actually have to produce that product, and they have to make the phone calls and they have to send the emails. It's ridiculous. As recession fears rise, no buy. Oh, by the way, just to reiterate my point, I am in favor of bringing strategic manufacturing. If I'm against all military, of course, but if you're going to do that, doesn't it make sense that everything related to your military is manufactured in your own country? You would think so, okay? So I'll say that. But when you're talking about random stuff, okay, it literally, there's just no sense. There's no sense in it. The cost would be dramatically higher. Everything would cost way, way more. The biggest employers, Amazon, Walmart, all these people would start firing people. You don't need as many factories because they're not going to open. Like, it's just, I could rant on all day about that. And if you want to see that video, let me know. I'll rant GPS. As recession fears rise, no buy takes on new urgency. So what's happening here? You could see there's this underconsumption movement, and you could argue this. You could say we buy too much garbage. What are we doing? And I agree. But let's be honest here. What's happening is going to have an impact on the economy, on jobs. Product shortages and empty store shelves loom with falling shipments from China. They're waiting. Okay, this is everywhere. They are waiting for people to basically just they're waiting for them to say, everything's good now, let's ship it all in, because nobody wants to pay that tariff, right? 145, 245. Trump has 2 weeks to save America from empty shelves. Okay, you're seeing the same thing. More Americans are financing groceries with buy now, pay later loans, and more are paying those bills late. That's crazy, because they will rip you in half. Rip you in half. And that's the problem. This is a huge problem, okay? So you could see this right here. This is just talking about the Great Recession. People are looking at this right now, and they're thinking to themselves, is this a recession? Am I worried? Am I concerned? Well, rightfully so. China, in the situation, what's going on there, you can see China warns countries against striking trade deals with the U.S. at its expense. Uh-oh. Well, this is a big deal, right? Looking at this, Trump's tariffs may already be helping China. Many Chinese businesses are applying lessons learned from the previous trade war. Okay? And they're just saying here, what they're doing is they've gone global and they started to set up these partnerships all around the world, and now they're shipping everywhere. And one so-called Brazilian company that I spoke to, I think they're just reselling Chinese made goods. China's doing everything. Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing, but thinking that you could flip a switch and change that is not a wise move. I got something for you, okay? You wanted to know, like, what did the money GPS say? Like, what did that guy say? I could barely even understand him. Listen to his voice. All right? Well, what if you went in here, typed in lumber, and searched through 4,200 transcripts? There was a lot more videos than that, by the way. I don't know. I think some failed. But here we go. Every single video. All right. And you could search exactly. So not only are the videos there for anybody that wants to see it, but you can actually go ahead and see, as I created this little app, put it over here on this website, the money GPS dot Vercel, VERCEL dot app. Totally free. No login, no nothing. You can go there and see what I've said. And it goes all the way back. And you could literally search. If you put the include approximate matches, that actually, includes a lot of nonsense, I guess you could say. And then if you want, you can click that button and it will bring you right into YouTube. So, you have that right there. I am the most transparent. I have been accurate because I'm pulling together so many different things. Okay. I'm involved in so many different businesses. I understand things from different levels. But the only thing, I guess, where I failed has been that I didn't really pick a side. And I didn't, get stuck in tribalism. I don't know if it's that I can't. It's almost like, if everybody starts going this direction, I got, oh man, I got to go here. Like it's almost like reluctantly. But anyway, that's the story. You can go to themoneygps.vercel.app and you could see it for yourself. I would argue have been extremely accurate in the things that I have said, and I only say that. It didn't do me any good, right? If you think like it's some sort of arrogant position or something, it hasn't done me any good. Look at the channel, okay? I'm telling you this because I believe that, these are the things that we need to do to protect ourselves. When I talk about these all the time, I have this free course on my website, Compass, totally free. Okay, there's no sign up, there's no email, there's no upsell, there's nothing. You go to themoneygps.com, click on that button for Compass, learn the financial education. Okay, it's not like, oh, you go through that and then secretly I email you and then I'm like, hey, you got to get into this and I pressure you or something. No. Okay, this is garbage. I want people to look at that and think, oh, that guy's right. That guy's right. And what did he say? Oh, we got to make do these steps, do these things. And, I hope that you will. So I want to thank you for being here today. Pardon the voice, but I'm here for the truth. I know you are too. All right. If you have any comments, questions, or anything, just put them below and talk to you next time. Take care.